folks, it's time for some Just a Die. Hello everybody, welcome on in. I am late for today's daily video. I apologize for that. So it's already 10:40. Normally I record these at least a couple days in advance, but you know, some stuff has gotten in the way of that. But yeah, I want to keep the streak alive for daily December, so let's go ahead and get day number 15 done. This is Just a Die. This is a game that is in very early access. The developers sent me a key. We're going to go ahead and critique it. Keep in mind this is super early access, so anything you see is very likely to change. But yeah, I want to go ahead and give my honest opinions and see what it's all about, that sort of thing. And yeah, we'll adjust the volume levels. Obviously, there's no nothing at the start there. Look, there's a moth, and everything's freaking out. So some sort of like weird moth dust. 10 commandments of board games has been deleted, and we're the die. We're pissed. We're pissed about that. Okay, so we got WASD, and we got a roll. So now we rolled a 2. Do we always roll a 2? It seems like we do. The roll is on some sort of internal cooldown. Looks like the sound levels are good now. I adjusted the volume before we started, and thankfully that worked. The menu is like a little weird. Okay, so there's like half cover, and then there's, okay, so I assume that deals damage to me. Is it a damage over time effect? Yeah, it is. Okay, based on what I'm seeing there. So we've got E, and we can shoot now. You have no charges. Roll to recharge. Okay, interesting. You've got a new spell active. The active spell changes randomly on each roll. Okay. So it's guaranteed between these two. It's kind of guaranteed. I had to open inventory. You've got a new. So this is the screen that made me want to play this game. By the way, when I'm choosing whether to play a game or not, I obviously need to think about it and like look at the different options and see if there's like a hook. And I think this is the hook for me. And it's very likely, if you're a member of my audience, it's very likely going to be the hook for you too. So let's go over it. You've got a new upgrade card. The upgrades are assigned to one of the die's faces and will be preserved on swapping / moving spells between slots. Close inventory to continue. Okay. I want to look at the screen more though. So we've got spell slots. We've got a buff with a 17% chance to roll. Rolling a 6 makes a 6, and that makes your next spell deal 2 more damage. There's also debuff. When you roll a 1, rolling a 1 causes your next spell to have 50% less charges, so you just have to roll again. Interesting that they have like a dice icon. This is the playmat to move your spell cards between the spell slots. Okay. There's character sheet, handbook, spell cards. This is pretty cool so far. So we've got some goodies. That one of those gave me a bunch of extra HP, and now we've got explosive orb. That's what happens when you overfeed a fireball. Toxic arrow. Okay. And this is just damage. That's just raw 10% damage. Okay. So I'm not sure how crazy the spells can get in this. We'll see. Okay, so we've got stuff coming after us now. Okay, so we're out of spells. I think I rolled a 1 there. Okay, we got them. So they dropped health, and they also dropped walk 16% faster. That's a lot. 25% damage for slot 2. Seems pretty nice. Yeah, we'll take the damage. That seems like a good roll. Oh, so I rolled a 1. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm trying to like see how this whole system works. That appears to just be full random, which is interesting. So this is doing extra damage now, so I'm actually one-shotting enemies with it, which is pretty good. The fact that the spells are like random here, it's interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Dodge cooldown is reduced a lot. Seems extremely favorable. It seems very, very good. Because that's a DPS limiter, and dodging is important for avoiding damage as well. Okay. So far, so good. So those explosions are huge. I'm gonna try out the poison damage. So we're just like one-doinking everything right now. So more charges. We gain half a heart. More range. We don't really need more range yet. Range hasn't been an issue. Range can be strong in games, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's necessarily what we need in this scenario. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the spells being random is really interesting. I'm curious to see, like, if they can make the spells, like, very different, and like, obviously you need to just kind of hope that you get the right thing sometimes. Okay, so they're non-contact damage, which is actually really surprising and interesting. I was kind of expecting contact damage. Attack speed with fireballs seems pretty good. Attack speed seems like a high-value stat. So yeah, like, world-wise, this looks pretty cool. It's a little Isaac-y, for sure. And that was what I expected as well. I expected it to be a little Isaac-y. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see if we can get through these guys. There we go. There we go. We got... I'm a little disappointed so far that these are just, like, damage modifiers. I was hoping for, like, some more cool effects, and maybe to like, hyperscale a specific one. Ooh, oh my god, I'm getting hit. It's not very gamer of me. Okay, so those actually split. That's actually really strong. It's a very strong attack, seemingly. It would be nice to have, like, some sort of effect appear over me, like which spell that I got, along with, like, the roll. I think that'd be cool. Roll chance reduction. More charges. We can get 10%. I'm gonna take the charges. Okay, so there is, like, a bonus for, like, rolls. There's a bonus for, like, if you get a 6 or a 1. There's an audio cue, which is good. I think that a teleport system of some sort is definitely needed for map exploration. And also, you can't tell which rooms you've been to and which ones you haven't at a glance. So that's another thing I'd like to see improved. And that's why we're doing this. Like, partly to show off the game and see the concept and see all that sort of stuff. But I also want to, you know, hopefully provide some insight to the devs. Whether it'll be useful or not, I don't know. You know, it's up to them. Whether, like, obviously, I'm just a video gamer. I'm not necessarily a game designer, so, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. But yeah, these are just the things that I'm kind of seeing so far. And you can let me know in the comments down below what all you agree with, because I'm sure, you know, some of it's just gonna be my opinion, man. You gotta go from there. More damage is good. Void Orb. Okay, we don't want to get rid of that spell. I'll get rid of this one. So, does this keep the modifiers, or do I have, like, modifiers on this that I'm throwing away? Maybe I haven't had any modifiers, so let's get rid of this one and see what happens. So Void Orb gets to keep all of the modifiers, which means that I could, like, shuffle around... I could shuffle around the power scaling that I got to, like, Toxic Arrow, for example. Which is cool. So, Yeah, I think that's like an interesting system that you can kind of do the modifiers that way. So let's see what exactly this does. It's just a basic orb. Okay, and I think we'll make that fireball, and then I'll get rid of charged arrow. I think charged arrow is fine, but I'd like to mess around with some other stuff. Paint splatter. Okay, so this is like a fast-firing grenade, I suppose. Okay. I guess we'll try it out. They're not like too different. I wonder what other effects the paint could have. Maybe targets marked by paint like get or take extra damage or something like that. That's kind of where my brain goes with that immediately. But yeah, having like extra modifiers on these things matters a lot. And here's the thing that I was talking about earlier is that like I've been all these places now. Now where do we go? Now where do we go? Am I missing something incredibly obvious? Probably. But, you know, I'm an idiot player. I gotta have my handheld. Okay, here we go. Here we go. But yeah, some form of cleaning up the backtracking, I think, is always a super high value thing. Let's go ahead and take more damage. These, I mean, I haven't really had to make any tough decisions, because, like, I can just deal with whatever, like, weirdness the spells have, and then, like, projectile speed might not even be a good thing. That's something they keep trying to sell me on. Let's see what we got here. Attack speed. Attack speed is good, that's damage. We'll get some more attack speed on that. I wonder if there's, like, limitations. Okay. You just eat that attack to the face. Unfortunately. So this is a piercing attack, by the way. I don't know if people picked up on that yet. Probably, I would imagine gamers are very astute, noticing all the modifiers going on. There we go. Range. I mean, once again, we haven't really had any struggle with range. I mean, I guess. Maybe it'll be useful in a boss fight. Okay. But yeah, I'm trying to think of, like, other things that can be done with this concept. I really like the whole dice rolling thing, and I think, like, leaning in on that as much as possible would be really cool. And I like the chaotic nature of swapping between the spells. Man, every time I play like a spellcasting game, I'm sitting here thinking about how friggin' sick Scholar of the Arcane Arts is, in the way that every spell like interacts with each other, and it would be interesting to see some of these spells like interacting with one another in some ways as well. But yeah, I like that it's all like all play pieces and stuff. That one's pretty neat. Like oh man, I could imagine like a whole chess-themed level, for example, and all the enemies have you know, chess piece moves. And you know, like more specific game board stuff rather than it being all jumbled together. Like right now, there's snakes and there's ladders and there's these super basic game pieces, and I'm wondering like what other themes they could potentially work on with this. Like, oh my god, could you imagine like stumbling into like a 40K playset? That would be crazy. That'd be super cool. So yeah, I think that this like their theming is great. Star Cannon. This screams to me of another game that I played a while back. Wow, that shoots really fast. That's pretty cool. How much buffage is that getting? It's got none buffage. So if I put it here, for example. I think I did this wrong. There we go. So if I put it there, then it's got some buffs to it, like the damage. So we'll try that out. The paint didn't feel that strong. Okay, and I think I'm missing this path over here. But I'm really just having to, like, remember all that on the map. I hope that the Lego pieces don't get them in any sort of trouble. It seems like it could be a bit of a thing. So far, so good. We're just kind of... The snake attacks are actually, like, ridiculously good. Okay, that's a lot of attack speed. I think I will. The roll cooldowns aren't really worth much anymore since my roll cooldown's already kind of, like, super fast. We can go pretty ham with it. Which is convenient. They're dropping lots and lots of hearts as well. I imagine that's something that'll be fine-tuned over time. I'll just take the 16% attack speed. That sounds pretty good. I'm curious. I feel like it's got a good amount of mechanics going on, but I want to see like more spell customization going on, I guess. Like, I don't know. The raw damage and projectile speed is kind of not as compelling as it could be. Okay, we found the boss. It is, oh my god. Okay. Some custom boss music would be good. This could vary. It is very likely to be, simply, like, placeholder music for the time being. Okay, so my range is actually coming into play now. This boss fight is doing a better job showing off the whole range thing. I'm taking tons of hits because I'm not very good. Okay. God diggity doodle. Oh no! I'm gonna die to the grafted beast. Range was actually an important stat after all. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. You're a die. Game over. Okay. And then you go all over again. I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, so this is all reset, which makes sense. But we get to keep the abilities that we had last time, which is interesting. So, if we find, like, the optimum combo, we never have to, like, swap off of them, which is strange. Oh, wait, no, I definitely... Didn't I get rid of the paint one? I think I did. Okay. Chances to roll a 6, that's a 25% damage boost increase, so that seems worthwhile. But yeah, I'm at the point here where, like, I get it, right? It's not really covering anything that, like, Isaac hasn't already done in, like, a more compelling way, right? Like, my tiers, they upgrade in power and like various stats and stuff, and I don't have control over that. And that's all fair. That's cool, but I don't know. It feels like I need like a little more to want to play more, if that makes sense. Oh, we've got a star room here. Let's take a look. Okay, so it's just charged arrow. I've already messed with that one. I'll get rid of this thing because charged arrow does seem quite good. It did seem pretty strong in terms of damage output. I'd like to take another shot at that boss, and maybe we can just like rush it. That would be cool. Let's give that a try. Because like I am interested by the boss's design. The basic level design with like the enemies and you know the simple hazards and all that sort of thing. It hasn't really done much for me, unfortunately. So, you know, there's I feel like there might be a little bit of do you think it's fair to say that there's a little bit of Gungeon influence with like the half cover and stuff and the rolling? It feels like that might be the case. But the strange thing to me is like if they took the half cover system from Gungeon, but they didn't take the teleporting, that seems a little strange to me, because like the teleporting is actually like really strong as like a design space thing, and I'm sure you could add your own flair to that in this game potentially. There's got to be all sorts of different ways you could do some goofy stuff like that, and I really think that embracing the chaos of a die should be more than a 1 or a 6, and maybe the spells that you get could have unique effects based on that. Or maybe you have like dice skins that do different things on 1 to 6, and maybe you can unlock more and more dice. Imagine like what if you got like a D20? Like imagine all that sort of crazy stuff. There's a lot of potential for that sort of thing. Obviously, you know, devs have limited amounts of time and resources to execute that sort of thing, but I think that I think it's some space that needs to be explored for sure. Yeah, that's a bit of a thing for me right now. Is like how do they really tie it all together? Okay, let's murder these guys. I'm hoping we can find the boss soon. Yeah, I think the most compelling spell so far has been the snake spell. That one seems to be particularly good. I wonder if increasing our 6 chance... that seems like it scales. So, like, if I decrease my 1 chance and increase my 6 chance, it's going to, like, matter a lot. Okay. Let's head this way. And I see that my die changes colors based on, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for here? Based on which spell I'm on, which is cool. So you can kind of tell at a glance. That was like an earlier complaint that I made, but now that I'm observing closer, you can literally just tell. So my apologies on that. Oh man. Now I'm thinking, what if you get like more dice and you get like you can bet on rolls and stuff potentially? That could be interesting. And they just like stick close together, of course. Or maybe not, I don't know. It is a really compelling concept. I think it just needs to be flushed out a little bit more. But like I said, this is early access, so there's still plenty of time for such a thing to happen. The hearts are like playing chips, by the way, by the looks of it. I didn't really... And then these are like card pack openings. We probably want our card dash cooldown reduced. Wow, that got me. That got me, huh? What? Oh my goodness. Taking damage to basic enemies. Unbelievable. I appreciate how common the hearts are, by the way. I think that a lot of these games are very, very, like, stingy with that sort of thing. And because they're so common, it would be cool to see the combat made more difficult in some way, like making enemies just a little bit scarier. Could be very reasonable. Yeah, we definitely need damage output. Our damage is quite bad. Let's take a look at this last up. Oh, we got a new one. Here we go. What's the range on that? It seems pretty high. That seems really good. Okay, let's get rid of Star because it felt pretty bad last time. And we'll run this setup here. So our strongest setup is all on... I mean, it's all pretty close. Let's just go for the boss fight and see how it goes. I like that every room gives you a power, by the way. That makes full clearing significantly better than it would be otherwise. Oof. Our roll cooldown is not good enough to get away with that sort of thing. Our damage output looks pretty good. Do I want to just, like, stay back during that phase, maybe? Ow. I wonder if there's a visual that I'm missing for when my roll cooldown is back up. Because I could foresee something like that being really useful. Okay, so the arrow's really, really good. Ow. Oh my god, that hit me twice. That is so nasty. Okay, so it's actually, like, sent out some of the snakes. That's cool. Oh my goodness. I don't think it can get into the corners. I think that might be the strat, is to just hang out in the corners. Yeah, it really struggles with corners. Okay. It sure does spawn a lot. Okay, there you go. So that's the first boss there. And, yeah, there you go. I guess that's all that they have done. So yeah, like I said, super early access. Lots of time and potential to keep scaling this up. Interesting. Interesting. Let me know what you all think. And what would you like to see go into this game? Because it's one of those things where this is early on enough where we can see some more sauce added to it. Alrighty. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of Daily December. I'm probably going to go record something else right now because I've got the time. Catch y'all later. Have a good one. Boop.